And when he opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
This is the very latest in a string of gun incidents on Middle Tennessee road rage incidents. In fact, that's exactly what agencies are calling it, a rise in road rage. Pointed a gun at another driver. Officers were able to catch up to him, retrieve that weapon, and take him into custody.
Major K Squad investigators say that on Friday night, she got into an argument with some patrons at 2 Bar on West Florissant in Delwood, then went to her car, grabbed a gun, and started firing into the crowd, killing 23-year-old Kyrie Smith.
Tonight, police are searching for the person behind a deadly double shooting at a West Side liquor store. The 2 victims, a young woman and a teenager.
Man ambushed and murdered overnight right in front of his wife.
Jersey, 2 people were killed and a dozen injured when shots were fired into a large crowd attending a birthday party. In North Charleston, South Carolina, a 14-year-old girl was killed and 13 people were wounded.
Officers dealt with a number of people who had been shot and were laying on the ground.
In Columbus, Ohio, police are searching for whoever shot one person dead and seriously wounded several others in a park after midnight. Also in Ohio, police say 3 people were killed and at least 3 wounded in a shooting outside a Youngstown bar. In Orange, California, balloons and toys were offered near the site where a 6-year-old boy was shot in the back as his mother drove him to kindergarten.
Starting to get into a fight. I don't know what's going on.
A road rage incident coming to a head in the middle of a Palm Coast neighborhood. Caught on camera by a bystander, 2 men duking it out, rolling around on the ground.
And this Memorial Day weekend, Philadelphia police are trying to get at what is causing the deadly uptick in violence in the city.
Families and communities ruined more than 200 times over. Philadelphia has recorded at least 211 homicides this year. That's 40% higher than this time last year.
The man charged with shooting 2 people and killing a third has just gone before a judge.
And at the very same time, one of the people he's accused of shooting is speaking out about the moments when she was targeted while just driving down the street.
Tonight, another neighborhood is shaken up after a mother was shot 4 times driving on Berwyn Avenue.
And she told us her 3 children were with her when she was caught in the crossfire of a shootout involving 2 others last night.
South Jersey, where a house party turned into a night of horror in Cumberland County. We have just learned that more than a dozen people were shot and 2 of them have died.
Her backseat was a 22-year-old man who had been shot in the head. Moments earlier, she had picked him up a few blocks from the gas station, a few blocks from where the gunshots were fired.
Baltimore County Police say the suspect, Everton Brown, set his home on fire and killed 3 of his neighbors in the frightening incident which unfolded 2 weeks ago. Soon, more officers arrive on the tense, chaotic scene. Listen to how many gunshots are fired as they try to get Brown under control.
And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars.
Revelation 12:1. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. The woman constellation is Virgo, and the crown of 12 stars is Leo, Mercury, Mars, and Venus. And you know what, folks? That was the first trumpet. And if you were watching Jason A., he was showing the trumpet blowing around the world. And you guys remember that was 2017? For real. That constellation changed September 23rd, 2017. The constellation Virgo realigned itself, and Leo became above its head with Mercury, Mars, and Venus. And if you read Revelation 12, that's when Satan loses his ability to go in and out of heaven. It's another way we know we're in the end times, because his time is short and he comes down here to trick everyone. So on September 23rd, 2017, he no longer had access to heaven, and his whole focus was on destroying everything down here. Now we're at the bowl and the crown.
Can change our behavior to be in harmony with nature again. And we can make sure that the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution
And upon the earth the stress of nations with perplexity, the sea and waves roaring.
Russia vow to strengthen their ties. Both countries are engaged in standoffs with the US. But can they build a united front against Washington?
Adaptation on the part of international financial organizations and rethinking the role of the dollar. After becoming the global reserve currency, the US dollar transformed into the instrument of pressure used by the US on the rest of the world.
I hope no one will cross Russia's red line. But in each case, we are the ones who will decide where the red line is. Organizers of any provocation threatening our security will regret it, like they haven't regretted anything for a long time.
No matter if they have 5 eyes or 10 eyes, if they dare harm China's sovereignty, security and development interests, beware of their eyes being poked out and blinded.
For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. For with fire and with his sword the Lord will execute judgment on all people, and many will be those slain by the Lord. I will send fire on Magog and on those who dwell securely in the coastlands, and they will know that I am Lord. By these 3 was the third part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths.
When will this happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Jesus answered,
"Watch out that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name claiming I am the Christ, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death. And you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith. And will betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but he who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations. And then the end will come. So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation spoken of through the prophet Daniel,
let the reader understand.
Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let no one on the roof of his house go down to take anything out of the house. Let no one in the field go back to get his cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that your flight will not take place in winter or on the Sabbath. For then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Look, here is the Christ," or "There he is," do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and miracles to deceive even the elect, if that were possible. See, I have told you ahead of time. So if anyone tells you, "There he is out in the desert," do not go out, or "Here he is in the inner rooms." Do not believe it. For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man.
Nobody does it like Ott TV.